If you're low on silver and barely hanging on, here's exactly what I did in order to get through the last Gear Enhancement event. The third and final Gear Enhancement event of this current fusion is just getting started, and if you're like me with a brand new free-to-play account, you may be struggling with silver after doing not one, not two, but trying to go into this third one with not a whole lot of silver. Let's talk about what I had to do in this last Gear Enhancement event so that I was able to just barely make it. And when I tell you barely, I was scrambling for silver, and I found it in some creative places. I'll share that with you in this video. If you've never seen my face before, hi, hello, my name is Fail. I am in this video going to be covering all the Gear Enhancement event stuffs, but I also create a lot of other free-to-play content because I just started a new one just a couple of months ago, month and a half ago-ish, and I also have a main account. We call her the Fixer-Upper because, well, she's got a lot of fixing up and to do, and I create content for both. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe, and hopefully you find this video helpful, as we go into how you can figure out this Gear Enhancement event when you don't have a whole lot to work with as a brand new free-to-play player. But if you are thinking about starting a brand new account, I've got you covered. Hold up, now it's time to click my link in the description below so that you can get yourself a free Karato, as well as 3 other insane epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Play and Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a free Karato right after signing up, as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. Hopefully you don't mind Spider going on in the background. I'm running it up for the current Spider event that's going on, as well as Dungeon Divers, while I'm recording this video, so I'm gonna let that play while I'm giving you some stats. During the first Gear Enhancement event, just to set the stage for you a little bit here, on my main account, I spent 31 million silver, and on my free-to-play account, I spent 22 million silver. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why is there such a big variation? Well, one, on my main account, I have a lot more silver and a lot more things to build than I do on this account, and so I have a lot more to work with, and I wasn't paying as much attention to, you know, when I finished up the Gear Enhancement event, I was just throwing silver at the wall, to be totally honest with you, because I have it, it's fine. Whereas on my free-to-play account, I had to be a little bit more, you know, frugal per se. During this fusion event for Ishiyama, I did spend 34 million silver on my main account, and then I spent 18 million silver on my free-to-play account. Again, you can see quite a bit of a variance, and again, my main account, I have plenty more to work with, whereas the free-to-play account, I was struggling. Now, at the time of this recording, I finished the Gear Enhancement event last night, and I was at the edge of my seat for a minute because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to finish it. I was scrambling for silver, and I'll show you all the different ways that I did that here in a minute, but I was literally like trying to get as little silver as much silver as I could wherever I could, and it was just like little drops in the bucket of silver, and then I had to go and hurry and spend it to level 4, level 8 on artifacts, and then I kept on checking the Gear Enhancement event. I don't know if you've ever done that, gone back and forth between, you know, leveling up the gear, then going to the and then going to the event information to see if you finally hit that threshold that you need in order to get the fragments for the fusion. I was doing that. Okay, last night I was like, I would level something up, I'd go check, it wouldn't be enough, I'd go find some more silver, again, a little drop in the bucket amount of silver, just a tiny little bit, then I'd go level stuff up and I'd go check. It was a pain in the freaking butt. Let's just say being strategic and frugal became a necessity in order to get that event done. So given all that information, let's just focus in on the free-to-play account. So for the first Gear Enhancement event that happened for this fusion, I did spend 22 million, and then on the second one, I spent 18 million. So there's 3 total Gear Enhancement events, if I can find them. That's why I'm like looking for gear and it's artifact. Okay, so there's 3 different ones. This first one I spent, as I mentioned, 22 million. Second one I spent 18 million. And then this next third one, I want to recommend if you're free to play newer player, obviously you want to plan for at least 20 million, just averaging things out, just to be safe. Now you can spend a little bit less, obviously, by doing all the little different strategies, by going in and just leveling up things to level 4 and then selling them, depending on if you're going to keep them or not, and just doing that over and over and over and over again. It's the most cost-effective way to do that. So you either have to plan to have at least 20 million silver or around 20 million silver for this last Gear Enhancement event, or there's a couple of other ways that you can maybe skip this event, which is what I'm considering doing, and I talked about this more in a previous video, so I'm just going to quickly, very quickly touch on it. You can either place in a top tournament for champion training or champion chase, where you can get the bonus fragments, or there are just a couple of other bonus fragments here and there. You can get at least an extra 10 from other events, like for instance a champion training. There's like 5 extra-ish. I mean, you should really just get all 10, but there's 5 extra-ish. There's extra in champion chase, and then there's also some in summon rush. So a few of these have already passed, so if you didn't do those extra ones, you may or may not be able to skip this next third Gear Enhancement event, but that's definitely what I'm leaning towards potentially doing, is skipping, because I don't know if I can do it. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Now let's reenact last night if I can. I probably should have just recorded it, although I was a little bit grumpy, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, and you probably just don't even want to see that. So let's reenact what I had to do in order to pull off yesterday's Gear Enhancement event, and then that way you can kind of get an idea of what you can do if you're really low on silver going into this next Gear Enhancement event, and where you can kind of scramble, which is exactly what I was doing, scramble to find as much silver as possible, or in this case it's a little bit, but to try to find silver so that you can finish this thing. Okay, let's go through it. First and foremost, I was using the forge. I don't like using the forge. I saved the forge for CVC. That's what you should do. I couldn't. I needed the freaking silver, so I was going in, I was doing these quick crafts, I was selling as much as I possibly could, and generally speaking, I mean, these 3 to 4s you kind of just want to sell in general depending on where your account is at, so they're low. I don't have a whole lot of forge items anymore. I didn't to begin with, but now we have even less, and I did it to gain some silver. So quick and easy, dirty silver is the forge. You want to save that if you can, but if you absolutely need it, I mean, it's there. Okay, the next one is dungeons. So you do have to do all these other dungeon events, obviously, for the fusion, and a great way to gain that is for spider. If you can get past stage freaking 10, unlike me, then silver comes in fairly more easily if you can get further along in spider. It's a really great dungeon to farm up silver from, if you can get further along than I can anyway. Next is gear cleanse. This one's kind of easy peasy, talks about a whole lot in a lot of other videos, but you can do a gear cleanse, go in, see if you have any artifacts that need to be cleared out that you've been kind of saving for a little while. Most of these are little speed boots that I keep for my faction warriors champions that I just throw on them whenever I'm running out. So, you know, you can do a gear cleanse, find out what you need, what you don't need, get it out of there. There was a gear cleanse that I did on my main account just a couple of weeks ago, or 1 week ago, and I gained, I think, 20-30 million silver from it. It was a good gear cleanse. It felt so great. But you can do a gear cleanse and gain some silver from that. Another thing that I did last night, we're reenacting here. I was scrambling. I was clicking all over the place. Where the freaking I get silver was the constant question in my head. Shops. You can find them in shops. So a couple of places. Number one is the clan shop. Clan shop, most of the time, I think the silver is almost always there, right? Every single week, this silver option is always there. I rarely get it, but last night, as you can see, I maxed that to freak out. I usually like to save my clan coins to use for other items, but you know, it's fine. I needed the silver, and this is where I found it. Total, if you were to get all 10 just like I did, so it is going to cost you, if you were to get all 10 of these max little silver packs, okay, in the clan shop, it's going to cost you about 1,800 clan coins. It differs, right? So depending on where your clan is at, so like on my main account, it'll give 400,000 per, you know, little silver purchase here, but on this free-to-play account it only gives 300,000. So it depends on where your clan is at, that I've noticed is how much silver you'll get. So with this, I got 3 million silver by doing all of that, and to be totally honest with you, I don't remember how many coins I spent, but I know that on my main account it would have cost 4 million silver if I bought all 10 packs. I'm assuming it costs less since you get less silver, but there's a good idea of that. Next is the bazaar. Okay, in the bazaar, there's just a little 50,000 silver for 200 freaking things. If you're like me and you're trying to save to grab these things, forgot to do that last night, frick. But yeah, you can get 50,000 silver right there. Dang it, that's gonna freaking suck. And then finally, another shop that you can get your silver from is the gem shop. So you won't have to spend any money. We're free to play here, don't you worry, I got you. But you can get 80,000 per 40 gems. This is not cost effective. I do not recommend this, but if you are absolutely hurting and you need freaking silver, you literally can't find it anywhere else, you can do that. To be totally honest with you, I would recommend, instead of spending 40 gems to get 80,000 silver, I would spend 40 gems to get energy, and I would just go run up a dungeon. You know, if let's say you're down the wire. Let's say the Gear Enhancement event is literally just about to finish and you need to get something out really fast, then you know, that's there. It's an option. I don't recommend it, but it's there. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, pulling this all together, you definitely want to have around 20 million silver, as I recommended at the very beginning. 20 million silver is a safe place to be, and it's not going to be perfect, especially if you go in and you 16 level a lot of artifacts. You're gonna run out of silver really dang fast. Like on my main account, that's why I spent a lot more, is because I was doing level 16s on a lot of artifacts versus going in and doing level 4 or level 8, which costs quite a bit less silver. So level 4, it's a guaranteed amount of silver. It's always 9,750. So if you go in and you, like, let's say I just went through and I upgraded all these to level 4, it'll cost the same amount of silver for every single piece that I upgrade. Whereas level 16, there's a little bit of RNG, and it could cost a whole lot more, but it can also cost a bit less. So it ranges quite a bit, usually around, I think, 1 million to 3 million. I don't know, someone else can correct me on that, but be frugal. But you need 20 million silver in order to finish, or on average, depending on how you spend that silver is kind of what I was trying to get at. My plan for moving forward, and I did a whole video on this, on how I'm going to manage the rest of this fusion, but I may be skipping this next gear enhancement event, and that is an option for you if you were smart and strategic and you just tried to get the extra fragments from different tournaments and different events. Like for instance, if you want to go into this champion training tournament, not only can you get this 5, but you can get this extra to get to 10, and on top of that, you can also try to place to get the extra ones as well. I can't. I mean, look at this. I'm at 5,000. It ends today, and these people are at 15,000. I'm not doing that. I don't have the resources for that, nor would I want to spend the resources for that, even if I did. So it really just depends on your account and where you're at, but of course be frugal, go with 20 million on average, or you can try to skip, which is what I might be doing. But I wanted to kind of go over this because last night was like a pain. It was a headache and a half, as I mentioned to you. So I wanted to do this to kind of outline, okay, if I'm struggling with this, other free-to-play players must be struggling with this, or at least on some level. Maybe it's relatable, and hopefully you found it a little bit interesting and also a little bit helpful. I appreciate your time today. Please feel free to subscribe. We do plenty of free-to-play content as well as my main accounts. I also showcase me fixing that freaking thing up. We recently just got our 1 key on Ultimate Nightmare Clan Boss. That was freaking awesome. Really loved getting that done. And free-to-play, there's struggles. And I want to not only highlight those struggles, but also maybe showcase some ways that we can kind of work through them and how I'm personally working through them on this free-to-play account. Have an amazing freaking rest of your day. Keep killing it, and I'll see ya.